So I asked on Instagram the other day and I was like, hey, what is the main things that you feel you struggle with when it comes to your pricing guide or your inquiry process? The main thing that people said was ghosting. There's a few like psychological reasons to it, but it's mostly because people maybe like start off first like thinking that you might be one price, and then they reach out to you, get sticker shock. They don't have like a clear understanding of why you are the price that you are. That being said, I wanted to take today to just talk a little bit about my pricing guide strategy and also what I have found works for me. Let's go ahead and get started. So there's different schools of thought on this, and I know everyone is different. At least for me and my lifestyle and business, along with like my education, I went to school for business marketing and management and leadership. And I just really find that like through all of the A/B testing I've done, and what I've learned from like different mentors as well, is just like this particular strategy has just worked the best for me. But the main goal of this, and I want to just emphasize, is that you are getting hot leads, people who are not going to waste your time and you're not wasting theirs. So you are getting hot leads from the strategy, all while removing friction from people being able to book a discovery call with you. So the main point of this is to create trust, transparency, and allowing people to just be able to book a call with you as easily as possible and as soon as possible while they feel you are on top of mind for them. And then you can kind of build that relationship and that trust even more over discovery calls. I believe sending full pricing information rather than holding back and giving that over the phone. And I want to go into reasons why. The first point of my pricing guide strategy is that I send this link I send the link to my pricing guide in a email that is an auto reply email that gets sent back to the client that's inquiring within 5 minutes, if not under 1 minute. I read an article, and it's in my other video, which I'll link here. This article was basically saying that you're boosting your conversions by over 300% if you respond within 1 minute. So that's like a game changer. And something like 70% of people actually wind up booking the first responder to all their inquiry emails. So that statistic alone was like, okay, yes, I need to automate my reply and my inquiry process for sure. So I believe a pricing guide should be sent back to the couple pretty quickly, and I think that it should be done, yes, in under a minute. So something like a CRM, I use Honeybook, you can just build this trigger with automations, so that you don't have to be the one that's actually like suddenly you get that notification, you're quickly trying to email them back. Like that's just not any sort of lifestyle anyone can really do and keep up with. The main goal of your pricing guide is to educate, inform, and just inspire people with the imagery that you are sharing in that as well. The goal for me is to really have a pricing guide that is doing the selling essentially for me versus needing to do this over the phone. And if I were to wait to give my pricing over the phone, a lot of times when I tried this, I was maybe like in a phone call for like 30 minutes, and then finally we get to the end of the phone call and we talk pricing, and then I just drop them with like, boom, okay, here's my pricing, and then they have sticker shock and everything we've said before. It feels very like it's just in one ear, not the other at that point. And they're like, you know what, I'll let you know if we decide, and then they could still ghost you. But yeah, I just feel like having this pricing information up front and then allowing them to digest it at their own pace is a lot better, so that the phone call feels more of like a genuine conversation, getting to know each other, versus an icky sales call. You know, no one really likes that feeling. And like I said, it needs to educate and inform and really build transparency. And what I mean by building transparency is building transparency in how, like, it really should lay out how they are getting insane value for what they're actually paying. I go into more details with this in my video workshop all about pricing strategy, which is also linked down in the description. And you don't have to do this by including a ton of edits and add-ons. You just have to be very transparent with all the things that you're doing, both on the back end and including. I use this also as an opportunity to educate them that insurance is also, and I don't go into big detail with this, but I just remind them like, hey, insurance is also included with this. You're getting like an insured company doing this. You're getting an actual like licensed drone pilot. Like I have it all laid out in a way that it shows people like this is what you're getting. And also I wouldn't be able to do it as like smoothly over a phone call versus being able to just like have it in a price guide for them to digest and visually see too. If you want to learn more about how I do this, I have in the description below a link to be able to purchase my video workshop all about pricing strategy, and I go through my entire pricing guide bit by bit and I talk it through. I talk about how I want people to feel when they see this page and read this information, and then kind of like riding a wave, both, you know, grounding them with the information they're seeking as far as like prices, but then uplifting them again and balancing it out with inspiration and testimonials from clients and everything. My one-to-one client pricing guide strategy is also very big on the feels and like being able to make people feel like you're an advocate for them, you know. Being upfront, it shows that you can be trusted, you know. Just transparency and honesty goes really far in this business, and especially with like one-to-one work, like you really want to build that one-to-one relationship before they even like get on a call or feel locked into a phone call with you. You can even put videos in your pricing guide, especially like how I like to use actually a live link that I can always update at any point in time versus like a PDF, and that allows me to like have videos in my pricing guide. Having video in your pricing guide is very powerful. I mean, video alone is very powerful, but like having it in your pricing guide is even that much better, because it's so close to building that trust and transparency and honesty and just giving people these good feelings, like just a feel good vibe that like they can trust you and now continue to talk about prices with you, you know. It's also an opportunity to show that you're proactive and knowledgeable. You know, you can answer questions in the pricing guide with like an FAQ part that really just like shows people like, oh, hey, like she's answering questions for me before I even thought to ask these, like, but this is helpful for me to know now, you know. So I think it's really good to have your pricing guide strategy in a way that people can like learn more from it than they even thought that they could, you know. Even in my pricing guide strategy, I like to also have live links in there that constantly reassure them, hey, book a call, book a call. There is a way that like people can easily just jump into my pricing guide without booking a call. So I just like to also remind them in it as well, like, hey, book a phone call and we can definitely talk more about this, you know. But yeah, so there you have it. Hopefully then from that point, you know, people feel like they can trust you and they feel honest. They feel the honesty. My next video is all going to be about streamlining with the apps that I like to use. I'm going to be talking about 5 apps that are free, very widely used, that have really just streamlined my life and business and simplified everything really. Consider subscribing if you like stuff like this, and go ahead and like this video or comment. Thank you again, and hope you'll stick around for more videos like this on intentional living and just balancing life and business and everything in between. So yes, talk to you soon.